Judo's are in the top lane. Some of you might know him more from his mid lane shenanigans, but he has been swapping. He's up the top now. Cross, the freshman we were talking about in the jungle, who's considered very reliable by the team, which is interesting for a freshman. Meslo in the mid lane, a Disconnector, and Nausicaa to start in game 1. That might yet change tempos in game 2, but we'll have to get there first.
And taking a look at the Maryville side, they have their own set of awesome players coming in here. It is, we have gotten confirmation, PCL in the top lane, Amazo and the jungle, get back in the mid lane, Scary Jerry once again at the ADC role, and Zyko at support. This is pretty much the same roster that they've run all the way through the season.
And
rolling out here for game number 1 in series number 1. Once again, taking a look, ISU on that blue side and already kind of having some fun here. Get back, sending that ball forward. And again, this is also the really nice part about Orianna. Doubles as a ward. Having that ball around allows you to keep eyes all the way. Now, I do have to ask, something that I did see quite fun that they changed is vision, right? They did change how often you can see someone from a bush. I believe they changed it from 4 seconds to 2.5. Is that right?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what the vision change was. I remember it's something to do with like when you attack.
It's when you attack from bush.
Oh, from bush. Okay.
When you attack from bush, you are seen, right? Now the amount of time that you were seen for changed, and I'm wondering how that's gonna play here, and if it's really gonna make a difference, right? That's one of the weird times that they actually did like a giant vision change. However, Disconnector did not meet vision differences, just ate a bunch of damage, is coming back to lane with half health and already used a pod.
I'm gonna be honest, looking at these comps, I actually don't think that vision change is gonna be too terribly impactful. A lot of them, especially from Maryville, they're looking for hard engage, right? So they're not playing necessarily in that vision of bush control. You know, you can see Zyko, he goes in and then he dances back to the bush. And likewise for ISU, I don't know if we're poking out of bush very much. So let's see if it does change anything. For now though, NECC. Angle, I guess Scary Jerry has changed his name yet again. And we should also note as well, DJ Halal. That is actually a pretty cool name.
Yes, it is. I love that name so much, and I appreciate it because it's just fun to say. I want to see records being spun in a halal way. That's great. Right now though, Drew Dozer is trying to farm up their own way, and keep in mind that is one of the lanes that we are going to have to watch for. That Jax was immediately napped up and said this is ours. So very, very interesting. Not only that, junglers did start on the top side and make it their way down. Full clears on both ends, which, you know, it's appropriate once again.
Yeah, I don't think there was any real chance for Maryville of diving this Sion this early on. So you're not looking to gank there. And likewise for Cross as well. Bot lane has so much more CC if you can actually get there. Callista does struggle around Trundle, his pillar specifically a little bit. Reducing the movement speed affects her hop as well. So there is kill potential. So it's almost on Maryville to cover that, to make sure that this aggressive Callista Rakan lane doesn't get ganked when they're pushing, when they're trying to apply this pressure.
For right now, we can stare at the lovely colors. As basically the early game goes the way the early game goes, right? Like there's nothing out of the ordinary here. I just want to see the CS numbers go up, and surprisingly enough, everyone's pretty much the same. However, get back, having a bit of fun in mid, just trying to stack up that damage as much as possible. Drew Dozer, of course, doing the exact same, pushing that wave under the tower, but we get to see our first taste as Amazo was the first one to actually reach in the mid, but now in the mid lane we're seeing a dance of death, and that'll be get back to take the kill. And now another answer on the bottom side, a 1-2 punch to the gut could lead to disaster. However, it's enough to grab that flash. Following up behind, Cross is going to try and do some work as well, and honestly I'm not sure how well they want to do this. Angle, or of course Zyko. No, not Zyko. My brain doesn't want to work. Scary Jerry! Ha! I got the name. Don't worry. That's going to be a couple spears in the back of Cross. Instead, a hook goes out. No real advantage there, as again, you burn the flash on Nausicaa.
I'm going to be honest, I'm actually a little bit surprised that Maryville was as close to almost killing somebody as they were, considering they were so pushed in. But especially once Amazo got there, like we mentioned before, Graves' early damage is pretty disgusting when you can actually land all of it. Cross, though, still waiting around, doesn't know that he's walking over a ward. So Scary Jerry and Zyko right now, they're just trying to burn time.
And I always love when you do see players that know how to burn time, right? I think burning time on a jungler is so important. Everything about jungle is about timing. When you see laners that know how to dance and draw the jungler's attention, you as a jungler are just like, I love you guys, right? Like, you already love your laners for that one. Of course, in the mid lane, Mezlo, having died once, not burning flash, but burning TP, is now in dangerous straits. That is 2 combinations coming out just thanks to the Sork shoes.
And get back, this is why I was a little bit scared when we saw the Orianna. This is why Maryville prioritizes that Orianna so heavily. DJ Halal and Drudozer are kind of going at it. Drudozer is just eating all the minion damage. He doesn't care. It's not even enough to pop a shield.
It's, no, you're fine. And not only that, getting the stacks as well. The grass feel great. And right now, DJ's just like, bruh, like, that's not cool. This Jax that we were sitting there going, hey, needs a huge lead. Already has a CS lead, but in the HP department is looking a little bit barren.
Yeah, and part of me feels like that advantage, the risk that could have happened up there was negated, or not negated, but caused a lot by the fact that Cross was slowed down in the bot lane.
Oh, well, that's going to be Zyko to get drawn in death. A 1-for-1 in the bot lane, but because the mid lane went 1-0, it's going to be a problem overall. 3-1 is going to be the overall score here, going in favor of MU.
And this jungle ganks coming through Orbital, these are just, it's just get back, just kind of winning out his lane. And this was a bit of the concern, you know, we had. Maryville is individually very, very strong. Fun fact, Orbital, Nausicaa is actually also Australian, or from the Oceanic region, did play in the OPL. So, you know, maybe it's time for Nausicaa to go visit his old buddy in the mid lane, you know, say hi to get back, because Mezzo needs a bit of help. And if Cross isn't ganking that lane, then maybe a good support roam, might be enough to cover for him.
It's one of those moments that you're like, yeah, let's go ahead and let's get a reunion going. Now, whether that reunion gets high ratings or not, that's left up to the people that actually bring it together. Right now, Cross, though, getting a little bit of a reunion in the top side, going to send DJ into a little bit of a frenzy, as that's going to be the unstoppable charge coming out here. The onslaught does not land, though, as Drudozer hits straight into the wall. DJ is perfectly fine.
Not even close. Still has the flash up and available. Didn't need to use it. Just ring around the rosies. And great vision actually coming through from Maryville so far. I highlight that because bot lane, they had very aggressive vision. Oh, hold up.
Well, they didn't just have the vision. They have the damage as well. That's going to be multiple spikes going in. And that's going to be Scary Jerry saying, hey, you better back away. But the minion wave actually doing quite a bit for ISU. But in that meantime, with no one dead, that still leaves a Maezo to a happy, except First Dragon will go the way of MU as they start to roll their advantages.
The armor reduction's really showing itself right now.
All right, we're fine. We're fine. Don't worry about that.
He didn't have smite, so that was actually really close. Disconnector should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no,
so very
goodness.
nice job to go ahead and get out with that call, and now they're going to try and look to go back in because Amazo's here. And remember, Disconnector has no summoner spells. Boom goes the dynamite, as that's a double because of the spear through. Mezzo's going to get another an auto attack. Again, that's the mage changes. You get faster animations, you get more kills. That's going to be a 3-0 in the mid lane and 2-0 in the bottom lane.
Wow, Orbital, like just seemingly out of nowhere. I was just praising ISU for how they were handling a lot of the lanes. Yes, I was worried for Meslo, but everyone else seemed fine. Drudozer. Drudozer doesn't have out here. DJ Halal can go diving. Has flash available.
And yeah, that's an easy dunk right there. And this is what we were afraid of, right? We said this in the draft phase. Even though it's comfort coming from ISU, they have to survive the early game. Right now, MU turning on the afterburners and saying, you're not even going to make it to mid game.
And the one person who's been somewhat conspicuously absent has been Cross for ISU. Unfortunately, you're a Trundle. And it's going to get worse for Cross now, because now your lanes are all falling behind. I expect to see MU start pressing into the jungle as well to make sure that Cross doesn't feel comfortable. And for Cross, I'm looking, what lane can you gank at? Nausicaa in the mid lane. Great hook.
Oh, very nice read as well. But that's, I mean, a pretty easy out. Yes, you lose half health, but the fact that Nausicaa read that does lead ISU to a little bit better feeling. They get to this scuttle first, are going to get vision on this top side, maybe even look for a chance at a little bit of a herald, but that's going to be get back to be eaten up here. Does have flash, doesn't need it, is able to walk away.
Really well played from ISU, but Orbital, despite them doing everything right, nobody from Maryville drops. They will be able to secure herald, but at what cost? Disconnector roamed up, and that's leaving Angle or Scary Jerry free time on this bot lane turret. You might get herald, but if you lose first brick, it's kind of not worth it.
I mean, you still see the plates go down. You're all happy, and DJ is saying you're not even going to clear the wave. Take a look at this extra damage, and yes, no major mythic done, but the components are enough to do damage. The brutality is coming out here as Mezlo's not going to have a good time. Dodges out on the knockup, so you can at least branch out a bit. Zyko might actually go down to 1-1, but it's not going to happen, as that's going to be collateral damage to finish it off. And it's just an easy kill like that. The Ziggs is getting picked on over and over again.
And Orbital, that was TP used by Meslo to cover this bot lane. And Maryville predicted it perfectly. The moment the TP was down, you saw Maryville start rotating to that bot lane. It was damned if you do, damned if you don't. If ISU didn't send anybody down there, then Angle gets free turret. DJ Halal pushed up really far. No flash this time.
No flash, but honestly, you're taking a look at the Grandmaster's might. Oh, well, you took tower shots, and I was like, you could probably dance this, right? Well, you're going to go in for the 1-for-1, and that's what we expected. Great trade there. You get more time in this mid lane. You know where the jungler is. Hey, you know what? You'll take that.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Drew Dozer, he doesn't even get the kill. Cross the one to pick it up, which is fine. As a tank, I guess you don't really want it, though. I think Drew Dozer wanted to try and equalize this lane. And Orbital, again, the question is what's happening with Maryville? When that's happening, we see Amazo invading, threatening this bot lane once again. They can't dive because Angle is really far behind right now under turret, but you can see Noska and Disconnector are very cautious about being under that turret right now.
I mean, they know that they're getting choked out, especially with the Rift Herald being dropped on the top side. That's where a lot of the gold is actually going to come back. Cross trying to challenge since mid lane was not taken. So, hey, at least the gold gap is going to close up a little bit. I don't think you'll lose your life, but at least it's something, right? The compensation is there, and yes, the B works. And now you open it up, right? Judozer can now be free to roam out a little bit more. Also give a free lane back to Meslo to try and work. And that's going to be the arrow coming out. Angle is going to be in a bad spot. As Scary Jerry turns into a little puppy. But guess who's coming in the backside? That's going to be Get Back to go ahead and draw multiple summoners out with that shockwave. And now the chase is on Nausicaa, trying to draw the minions away as well. But, I mean, you're going to die, right? Amazo flashes forward, gets a red buff applied, draws a flash out of Nausicaa as well. And with Dragon coming up shortly, it's going to be free farm. Get Back says, hey, yes, stepped up at the wrong time, still had the flash up, so Disconnector dies. Nausicaa is going to go down. Kill granted to Amazo, and it is all hands. This is MU running the show with the kills.
Despite the fact that MU just picked up a bunch of kills, I do want to highlight that ISU is still making good macro calls. Meslo is still pushing in the mid lane really well. Top side as well. I earlier said that, hey, if you get Herald at the expense of first brick, it's not worth it. Well, ISU manages to get first brick, so good for them. They're finding gold from the structures, from the map still. Meslo should be fine. He's got flash, right? He's got flash. He needs a flash.
Oh!
Meslo, not like this.
We both sat there and we were like, it's going to happen. Just how hard are you going to try and play? By the way, 100% Scary Jerry could have pulled the spears earlier and not taken that tower shot, I think. I think that would have been fine. I
don't know, because he did pull it earlier, so I don't know what the cooldown was on it, but man, that's just brutal to watch. Meslo has no safe lane. He's 0-5 right now, and if Orianna is wrecking you in lane, if the Callista can start turret diving you, yeah, Meslo's going to have a really tough one, and MU's just going to start turning the screws onto you. They're at Dragon on spawn. They're going to take this one, and they're going to keep on pressuring, especially with those side turrets down. MU is now safe to kind of focus one lane, but they don't want to play into the lane that Meslo's going to be at, because as hard as this for Meslo alone, in a 5v5 situation, that Ziggs wave clear is still going to be very potent.
As a Ziggs fanatic, for good reason, I will also say that going 0-5 before 15 minutes hurts. Like, you're not in a good spot right now. So Meslo feels it. And I do agree, we are going to see some of those chances. But Nausicaa trying to make the plays right now, and that's going to be double up, triple up on that CC. Great shutdown, heads to Disconnector. And they're going to look for a push on the top side. You can see the pings going down, but I mean, what are you really going to push, right? There's going to be a push coming out in the mid lane ever so slightly as Scary Jerry is looking to take a couple more plates. Plates will fall here in about 10 seconds. So, hey, you know what? You keep Cross and Judozer in the top side.
And Amazo is going to go cover that with Psycho right now. Keep in mind, they don't have to win this fight. They just need to dissuade ISU from pushing. That's done. Judozer left behind by Cross.
I mean, I think he can walk out. He should have his ult available as well, and that's going to be the Ghost to try and get in position. You're looking for that unstoppable onslaught. And able to split the upright. Said, hey, thank you very much. And because of that, Amazo and Zyko are in a dangerous spot. Mezel's going to try and TP in, and they're going to work on it. The Mega Inferno Bomb is going to land on one. Amazo still kiting back towards the enemy tower. But look at that from the river comes Dangerous as well. Nausicaa from end to end starts the fight with the kill on the Orianna and finishes it off, helping kill off Amazo.
That was a race between Nausicaa and Angle right there. And I guess the Ionian Boots of Lucidity is not even Moby Boots for Nausicaa. Angle is able to save Psycho, but Amazo still goes down. And ISU, hey, I was saying that their macro play has been solid. They're still finding advantages. Well, that one helped a lot. They shrank the gold difference significantly. It's only 3k, and 3k at 15, pardon me, is significant, but it's not insurmountable, especially if ISU don't 5v5 fight Maryville.
The problem, I will say, comes with the fact that even though you're winning and getting, decreasing that gold gap, they're still behind in Dragons. For all the time that's going on, 2 Dragon stock on Maryville means that if they get this third coming up here in about 3 minutes, which is a ways away, don't get me wrong, there's still going to be a lot of question marks, right? I want to see what happens with these next global objectives, and if MU are able to put themselves in a good spot and get that soul point, all of a sudden, all that ISU has built up will be almost for naught as they're dragged into the pacing of MU's game.
So here's the thing, overall. I don't want to see what's going to happen at that thing subjective, because it's not going to be safe for work. What Maryville is going to do in a team fight is going to be absolutely disgusting. And for ISU, there are specific targets they need to kill. If you can burst somebody down before the fight, you're good to go. And that means get back, because Angle or Scary Jerry has cleanse. So you've seen the CC chain not quite work. You can see how tanky, PCL, just walking right by that one. PCL's tanky enough that he won't die right away. If you burn everything to kill PCL, Maryville will run you over. And Amazo is the borderline for me. I don't know if you can kill Amazo in one full combo. If you can, good. If you can't, then it has to be get back or bust.
At this point, it's looking like just go straight through the front door. This is going to be a chance. Grandmaster Might is thrown down, but the Counter-Strike isn't going to do anything against the Mega Inferno Bomb. You were able to draw 3. Now you can fight Disconnector 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 because the knockup is there. That's going to be the drag, and Rend is good. For all the fighting that happened bot side, yes, you get a little bit of the comeback gold, but you still lost in the mid, and look at the top side. The wave is being pressured in. With that Herald, it is looking brutal. Drew Dozer now in a dangerous spot as well as Amazo. Gonna send them up. Listen, you can run as hard as you want, but you can't outrun that damage. That'll be the kill, and that will be the trade. MU take multiple kills on the top and mid, and 1 kill for ISU on the bot.
Yeah, and again, right, it feels like ISU is getting structures, but Maryville is getting kills. So the gold gap, again, is not significantly growing. It's okay. It's 4k. So it did go up a little bit right now, but ISU still within touch and distance. What's more concerning to me is that eventually you're going to run off easy structures for ISU to take. There's only mid-outer turret left right now, and mid-outer is going to be really hard if Maryville just group up into the mid lane, and there are multiple members there. Angle, great cleanse.
Oh, well, Scary Jerry actually got hooked in, and because of that, Disconnector's all in here trying to get the kill, but can't. Oh, living with only 50 HP, and because of that, everyone was made in ISU. We said they were doing well, but in a straight-up team fight, they're not going to win here. Drew Dozer has to run for their life, but they are burned. They are dead, 2 in the blink of an eye. Drew Dozer just going to clear the wave, but my gosh, was that close to 50-50 going to Scary Jerry.
And ISU were there first. Orbital, they had more people there, but remember what I said, Angle's hard to lock down because of that cleanse. Angle had flash, and Scary Jerry basically just went, hey, I think I can actually find a kill here. It got way closer than it should have been. But if that works this time, it's only going to get worse for ISU. Dragon, in 10 seconds, Orbital, I don't think we're going to see a team fight.
Listen, I wouldn't put it past ISU with how hard they're trying to fight right now, and you know, in my low IQ solo queue, like what am I? I think I'm like plat right now. I'm sitting there going, yeah, might as well give it a shot. I don't know. I honestly am just sitting here going, I am wondering what happens, as that's going to be a good arrow. But take a look. The CC reduction is there as out goes PCL. Yes, you get the Counter-Strike, but another bomb will take it. Dragon, though, started up, as you said, giving Dragon over. I don't even think you can go for this this Herald or anything of the sort, right? Or Herald's already down, I lied. Yeah. And there's nothing else on there. So a kill for a Dragon,
100% right, Orbital. You can't be going for this Herald. It's just not there. In about a minute, a bit, Baron will be spawning, though. And when that spawns, ISU will probably not be able to go for that either. I mean, you've got good Shred. You've got Trundle. You've got Ashe with Kraken Slayer. But the problem is more that if MU have any idea it's happening, they will just absolutely run you over. So ISU... You know what? I said it was getting harder for them to get structures, but they got a pick onto DJ Halal, onto PCL there, and they can continue to find picks. One thing that is kind of working in their favor, the silver lining to a very dark cloud, is as Maryville is taking more turrets as well. The lanes are getting longer, and we did say ISU has pretty good globals or cross-map playmaking with their compositions, so maybe they find more picks.
Well... yeah, that's unfortunately a no-no, as Disconnector is quite literally bamboozled. A TP behind with that Jax, denies any opportunity to get out. Good run out by Drew Dozer, but that leaves mid completely open. Take a look at the top side as well. Get back, making sure that wave does not crash or cause any complications. And that leaves the rest of MU more than free to fight this mid lane. Cross trying to step up. Grandmaster's Might is going to be used. A little bit of a shell shock in, as that's going to be bounced onto the tower and actually just demolished. A problem occurs as the Mazo goes down onto the tower. Cross is now going to walk their way out. Multiple series in the back. One more could do it, but that's going to be the kill. Amezlo getting a second shutdown here, a third kill for themselves. Look for a fourth, try and lay him down. Arrow goes streaking across, but that's just for a little bit of fun. That's going to be a shockwave to land on Judozer only. Who else is going to be there? Nausicaa! Nausicaa lands another hook. Who can get the kill? No one else is available. Cross is going to take the lantern over, but in comes the local retribution. Counter-Strike is back up. A little bit more damage, and Zyko gets a knock up. Judozer trying their best to hold off, and it is going to be another bomb. They're just feeding the Ziggs over and over and over. Out goes PCL over the wall on a ward, and my gosh, out of nowhere, ISU win a bloody but amazing team fight.
Nausicaa's hooks, both under turret and again onto get back there, were critical for ISU to find their way back in. And that's why, Orbital, I said earlier, it's kind of hard to push into Meslo. Meslo, before that fight, was what, 2-5? But
I think 1-5. I saw multiple kills go down.
Yeah, that's
right. He did.
But even with that, right, just having the Leandries and having enough mana was good enough. And you saw that the wave clear was hard. And we said before, Maryville's comp is very short range. Let me double down on that. You've got a Kalista. The range being short not only affects your team fighting and how close you have to get, but the turret taking as well. And you're seeing that right now when Scary Jerry steps up. There are tools to lock him down. There's the pillar, there's the hook, there's Ash Arrow. And even with the cleanse, you can only cleanse one of those.
Right now, I think MU are starting to gain a little bit more respect. You can see the Rabadon's completed by Meslo and walking over the wards. You know the kind of the damage implication that's going to be coming out here. Not just that, you take a read down the list of MU. They're all pretty dang squishy, right? You look down the list. I think only Jax and the Graves have a decent amount of HP behind them. And for PCL, that's only really if you're alone. You built that hole breaker. So really keeping eyes on this one. They are going to have to start playing a little bit more around Get Back, who honestly was not there in the fight, so you know, may not be a full team fight win, but kind of curious to see what happens here. Disconnector is going to try and rush forward. There was no one else behind us. They're just going to try and crash in. The quickness doesn't really do anything as they just shut that down once again. And a frustrated attempt coming out of Zyko now puts Scary Jerry in a dangerous position. Good dodge on the Mega Inferno bomb. But nothing else will be there. A little bit of bounce on. Great satchel to deny the fall through, but the shockwave landed on two. But now they're right in the middle. Take a look at this bottleneck. Cross is going to get their life denied. Amazo jumps forward with a shotgun, and this time around in the mid lane, it will be round two, going the way of this MU squad. Meslo trying to step up for a little bit more, a little bit of a bomb out, but you know, a 1 for 4 is more than enough.
And Orbital, you know, sure, Meslo's doing a lot of damage with the Rabadon's death cap. But the problem is, Ziggs, a lot of skill shots right there. And as you saw, a lot of it didn't land. Meslo coming back in. No Mega Inferno Bomb, no flash. He's playing with his life.
Oh, I don't think you want to be here. Yeah, that was, you know what? It was an attempt. I can appreciate that. You tried to pull them off. Unfortunately, again, you're a Ziggs. You are a little bit explosive. Any little bit of firepower will take you down. This Baron will go the way of Maryville University, as that mid-round team fight said, okay, that might have gone to ISU, but we're right back in the driver's seat.
Fight's not completely over yet, Orbital. As Dragons come in 5 seconds, ISU is sprinting their way there, but Maryville wants to be there as well. You saw what they can do if they're grouped up. We've not really seen a full 5v5 team fight. It's always been a pick, which kind of goes sideways. This time, MU should be able to get all 5 there. Should be able to. Scary Jerry's lagging a little bit behind.
Let's just keep eyes on that arrow. Disconnector has also been good. Good hook coming out here. Draws him away. Zyko's going to get in backline, but can't get to the critical disconnector. But it still doesn't matter, as front to back goes wonders for MU. Good knockup from Judozer into the unstoppable onslaught. Keeps them all in range, but the double kill still is going to do a ridiculous amount. As the Counter-Strike grabs 3, Judozer is going to get a kill from beyond death, as that will be a fall through. Disconnector will not die, but remember, the difference is going to be this shockwave following through. Get back says, thank you very much. You cannot walk by the walls. And yes, the kills are 3-3, but the Dragon so critically will go Maryville's way.
Those 3-3 are not equal, Orbital. Look at the slivers of health Disconnector and Nausicaa had. They played that so well. They kited out DJ Halal there. But again, Maryville actually wasn't fully in position to pull the trigger. That fight started for V5, but this, it's just small advantages that Maryville keeps picking up. They keep winning these fights. They got Ocean Soul this time. That will help a lot towards their tankiness. They've still got a minute and a half of Baron Orbital. Let's see what they can achieve with that. There's very little freestanding gold. There's a mid inner turret they could probably rush if they wanted. It is kind of low, but I don't think they're actually going to be able to knock at the inhibitors with this particular Baron buff.
You say that, and they're gonna do it just to try and like prove you wrong. I feel they're just like, listen, we got everything. We don't know. I mean, they've also been more than willing to fight, which I really do appreciate,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
My personal gripe has always been teams that when they have a lead, which let's be honest, this is a lead, you don't try and force with it. And I think at this point, as you said, with that soul in hand, you get tankiness. Zyko now with over 2k HP, you should be able to help tank out. You should be able to make your way forward. And we have to keep eyes on these ways to see what really breaks out. Right now, though, in the jungle, it's going to be a little bit of a dance as Vision is currently fought over. Yes, the pink ward is taken away, but still, it is, for Maryville, a push forward. Ooh, is this going to be a chance? Nah, I think they're out. I don't think they're going to force that.
Yeah, they can't right now. If they commit too many people onto PCL, it will take too long to kill him. Most importantly, Disconnector isn't there. Disconnector is the one who's really going to be able to shred him. Another hook. Nausicaa has been landing hook after hook when it just doesn't matter.
And now, taking a look on the other side, though, that's going to be a great catch on the back end. Great catch onto one of the primary members. Remember, that shockwave is so crucial. And because you're down, Mazel gets run down as well. Hey, 2 Barons off in the blink of an eye.
But you know what? Hey, Maryville proved me wrong. They did get onto the turret. They didn't take it, but they did manage to get onto it. And ISU, they just keep finding manufacturing these picks right now, and that's what's keeping them in the game. And frankly, at this point, I've got to call it Maryville a little bit. I think Maryville is playing a little bit too loose. They have the lead. They're trying to play aggressive, but they're kind of throwing that lead a little bit and giving ISU a chance to come back in. This push is massive, and if you mess up again like this, they're into your base. You mess up twice like this, they could be on your Nexus. We are getting towards that mid-late game point Orbital where towers go down really quickly.
I mean, when you got a Ziggs, yeah, that should happen. If your Ziggs is not tower pressing like crazy, which at that point, yes, the Ziggs was not, that is always in the back of your mind. So taking a look at the state of things, as we take a little bit of a breath, Illinois, they've currently been able to also grab some grievous wounds. You saw the immediate purchase of the Bramble Vest and the sword in the bucket for Disconnector. Item taxes have been granted, and now it's just about finding those opportunities. ISU currently stacking in mid with Meslo still off on the sideline.
Now, Orbital earlier mentioned that you're happy that Maryville seems to be constantly looking for fights because your personal gripe was teams that sit back when they've got the lead. Well, Maryville's entire comp wants to fight. So, they're still actively looking to make something happen. Baron's coming up in a minute 40. That's going to be one place that Maryville can look to try and funnel 5. The other one is going to be Elder in 2.5 minutes. And at that one, ISU will have to show up. So I want to see what ISU are actually going to do for the next little while. Maryville's not in a rush. If you can find a fight, great. But the fact that they're sending Get Back to split push tells me that they are waiting for timers this time.
It's a breath of fresh air for what's been going on this entire time, right? We're only 28 minutes into this game, and we already have 42 kills on the board. That is a ridiculously nasty number of just death.
I didn't even realize
right?
that.
Yeah, it feels much later in the game, and it's not. These teams have been engaging time and time again. This is honestly the first time outside of early game that we've seen the teams breathe. So taking a look here, ISU need to sprint back on board. They have a minute on Baron to get their vision line further. You can take a look. It's still very close to their own base.
I think for ISU, as you mentioned, if you can get a pick, that's great. But the fallback plan for them is to stall out Baron. Ideally, you want Baron and Elder to be up at the same time. At that point, maybe you can try and look at Elder while Maryville are taking Baron. If you can take the Elder, that's worth the trade. Though Maryville might just choose to go to Elder at that point. But it gives you more opportunities, more chances at least, to try and find a pick. I would hate to see ISU hard commit to this Baron and end up losing because of it. I don't think the Baron's worth it for them.
It's there to try and get the kill. It's not there to actually take. Don't let yourselves get too narrow-minded. Don't tunnel vision in. You can see here on the side, this level 16 versus level 14 might be a key factor, as well as, honestly, we haven't seen a 1v1 between these two in quite some time. And so, especially with the Hullbreaker and Bucket, we're seeing that difference right now, though, a corralling coming in, as surprisingly, ISU actually have the inside track on this mid lane. And again, when you can't pressure against this Baron, you can actually look to try and bully out in your own way. But look at that junk coming out here. This is PCL saying, I will take this tower, and now it's a hard push against a hard push. Are we actually getting a Baron a base race right now. You can see the tower going down in the mid lane. It's going to be a recall 4v4 versus 1v1. And we have to keep eyes here. This is, again, Judozer taken down to about half HP. And yes, there is no lethal tempo, but it is enough to do the damage. Zyko has to jump away. Cross is going to back away as well. No inhibitor goes down, but that's going to be a TP. Now a double TP coming in here, but Judozer is going to be way more healthy. Bomb comes in, doesn't really do any damage. And a Unstoppable Onslaught hits the back line. That's going to be enough. In comes the recall with the Fate. That's going to be a bongo. Missile gets the kill. Get back is down. Get back is down. They're going to try and rush it as that's the game. Zyko is just watching on the back line, but you can't do that because, again, there are multiple carries on this team of Maryville. The kills come through. The slaughter is done as Maryville University take the battle.
Took 30 minutes, Orbital, but man, actually, did Maryville get the fight they wanted? It didn't even. It still felt like a 4v5 because of how quickly Judozer got in there. But it's the fight they needed. Maybe not the fight they wanted. They're gonna push in. Mezzo gets caught, and that should be lights out.
Able to get away. Thankfully, Saracen Race is good, and a nice satchel to deny. Once again, you can't counter-strike a tower shot, and you can't counter-strike two. Instead, Mezzo is going to try and wave clear as hard as possible, and take a look at that damage. Yes, you cleared the minions, but take a look at the supers coming in here. HP, though, is low on the rest of the members, and because the death timers are up, you are going to try and back away. Now, you have to worry. Elder is going to be coming up. This is a danger. Baron or Elder? Elder in the eyes of MU.
And I guess, overall, this is the difference at the highest levels between good and great teams. Because ISU has been showing us some incredible individual heroics to make things happen. Judos are forcing that fight to try and find the pick. Meslo with the beautiful satchel charges, the hooks that have been coming out. Arrow goes through the uprights, and you cannot be chasing this ISU.
They're going to try, but I think that might be their downfall. Cross with a little bit of HP difference is going to try and run away. The rest of the team is going to try and branch their way in. Scary Jerry is going to be taken quite low. The bomb is going to land on your head. But again, the cut down, the ability to nuke you when you had 25% HP left, it is a problem. Because of that, the chase on Mezlo's life will commence. Or at least the clearing of the jungle. You got the kills that you want. You have 2 inhibitors down. You might as well look to end the game.
Here we go again. They tried last time, but this time they've got longer death timers. They're a bit closer. Meslo is back in base. Can he wave clear?
Let's see what they can do right now. Only a caster minion. Now the rest of the wave streaks their way in, and this is going to be a problem. Look at the auto attacks. The potion on Get Back is running rampant. Meslo goes into the stasis, but I mean, you really can't do too much. Amazo with the shotgun to the back is going to get the kill. Cross is now going to get eaten up right outside of the fountain. A counter strike will take their life as Get Back tacks on a 9th. The inhibitor is down. The Nexus towers are down, and the game is over as Maryville take game 1. And possibly giving us a what for. We're going to be in for some fun. PCL running their way forward on the Cassante, a blind Cassante, if you will. And I mean, the answer of the Garen will be one to see. I'm amazed and excited and hopeful that we will see a game number 3 because we want to see ISU be able to get out of this situation. They are currently sitting at 3rd. If they lose here, possibly falling out of the running for the playoff set. I mean, at this point, Maryville, though, just looking for a clean exit. Either 2-0 or 0-2, and at this point, you're gunning for that former. Of course, the lovers in the bot lane will be fun to watch, as well as Scary Jerry and Zyko have put on a show, but, I mean, I'm overall just curious of who's really going to get that first blood. Is it going to be a question mark in that mid lane? Is it going to be in the jungle? Crazy, or is it going to be in the jungle here? Well, I mean, they don't really have CC, so, like, Get Back's just like, really? Really? You're going to try and do that to me?
Get Back's just, warming up his reflexes a little bit, just daring them to try and do anything to him whatsoever. Now, Orbital, let's talk on the top lane of it, because I was not sold on this Cassante first pick. Don't get me wrong, I think Cassante is a good champion. I just don't think he's necessarily B1 worthy. So, for PCL to impress me, Pi must lane. PML, not PCL. Not just can lane, must lane here. You must win out. I don't care that you got counterpicked. You picked the B1 Cassante. That's on you, friend.
Right. And also taking it into account, we did say we were going to check on this. It is tempos.
Oh, yes.
In that bot lane. That is why this was done. So go ahead and kind of explain this to us.
Why they picked why they're using tempos game 2? I don't know.
Well, no. Just the difference. Just the difference. Come on. What does tempos bring?
Well, okay. Tempos, I think it says a lot to them. When I saw the Zillion ban, I was thinking tempos right away. Like, he's very, very well known for his ability to play Zillion and the enchanters as well. So having him play this Lulu, I think is going to be really good. Heavy trading the top lane. Are they actually going to die here?
You know, we were talking about it, and both of them back away with 100. Oh, come on, you can't back away like that. That is such the, like, if you're gonna play top lane, you gotta have those cojones. Unfortunately, both of them back away. Judozer will actually enjoy that extent because, again, the innate regen here. Cross is gonna be walking up though, and this is PCL. May not be in the greatest spot. Need to have that Q go down, and now with it done, only level 2, doesn't really have the dash out. This should be first blood. How much time can you waste? You were able to get level 3 on both ends, so I think this is going to be that kill, but can you take one more? Good stun, not going to happen. First blood goes way across.
I feel vindicated that PCL died. Sorry, PCL, you B1 Cassante. But for ISU, this is what I'm talking about with Cross. Great bounce back. This is why I guess they said that he's very reliable. You can see no nerves from game 1 whatsoever, not too worried about it, and just great response, right? Knowing that, hey, MU wants to trade very heavily in lane. Well, Drew, if you can trade just as well, then we can go in for the gank. And Amazo wasn't there, wasn't expecting that. Amazo's more used to his lanes winning out and then being able to follow up Disconnector and Jerry in the 1v1.
I'm not sure you like that. Good shield in, heal to come out, and a flash forward and a flash away. Honestly, though, still, that was Scary Jerry getting the better of it. If Tempos was not there, Disconnector 100% wouldn't have their summoner spells and wouldn't have their life.
And that was clutch. You're asking why Tempos and what the difference is for Tempos? I guess that's one of them, right? The Enchanter play, getting their clutch in time to get that shield up. Yeah, if not, Disconnector dies there. And now you've got the flash out of Scary Jerry as well. Oh.
A happy one.
Mid
lane though. Flash or flash. Auto attack should take it.
One
more.
No!
Oh, is it going to be there? No, you're alive. The minions get the kill. Get back. We'll take a kill in the mid lane. Not by their own skill, though. By your cousins out there, RMC. They are helping MU get a lead in this game.
You know, I was saying that we've seen this before. We did not see this last game. Last game, it was red side. Yes, it was Orianna. Yes, but it was Get Back getting the kills. This time, Meslo down to inches. The fact that it was minions that finished him off was rough. And keep in mind, I said, you mess up pre-6 against the Akali, your life gets really, really hard.
And that's going to be such a danger. So now we get to watch here as, again, you have nothing. You are nothing. You are dead. This is the start of an unfortunate game 2 for Meslo.
Maryville got the hints of a lead, and they secured it immediately. 5-minute gank into the mid lane, or I guess 4:30 gank into the mid lane orbital from jungler and support. Great, you can do that. That was probably already going to happen around that timer. However, the fact that Meslo died and TP'd back into the lane, that's what seals the deal. And I love that Maryville instantly made the call that, hey, we killed Meslo. He's down a level. He's TPing back in. Collapse set him further behind. And now Meslo kind of just farm on the turret and pray that Get Back can't get appropriate poke. And even if you survive that way, Get Back's going to have roam, going to have priority on these early objectives.
And then also, just the icing on the cake, remember what an Akali likes to do post level 6. We'll dive you consistently. And if you are a level or a level and a half behind, that Orianna shield ain't gonna do jack. Meslo is in by far the worst angle that could possibly occur as an Orianna mid lane, and it's just pain. So for right now, we will keep eyes on how that breaks out. For right now, we will take a look at the other lane states as PCL is somewhat even in the CS department. Bot lane, Scary Jerry have an extended CS lead over their counterpart.
Ooh, bot's getting a little bit hairy here, but I actually want to talk a little bit about top orbital, because as much flack as I've been giving PCL for the Cassante pick, what I do need to highlight is if PCL goes even in lane, that's fine. That's basically a win as far as concerned, because Garen is one of the ultimate lane bullies in the game. He somewhat skills, as we've seen. You know, you can build damage items on him and he can be a menace, but you're just kind of handshaking. The Cassante is going to be an absolute unit later on. It's going to be a lot more difficult. So the fact that PCL is going pretty much even or even ahead in CS is actually a really good sign for MU.
Oh, well, the other lane that we haven't talked about isn't a lane at all. It is going to be that jungle as Cross gets crisscrossed. Can't do anything as Amazo takes their first kill of the game.
And that's just off the bot pressure, right? The fact that the Zaya Rakan is winning out so heavily, and Disconnector and Tempos are being shoved off turret right now. They completely have to back up. The moment Cross died, they were like, okay, Amazo's here. Amazo's level 6. Sure, might have used the out on Cross already, but just the threat and the ability for Rakan and Zaya to juggle aggro so effectively means that it's not safe.
Oh, and I mean, this is turning out like game number 1. Yes, it may be a bit slower, but I feel like we're going to feel that snowball come in very, very quickly. Once again, Dragon now being started up by Amazo after getting that kill, still sitting on that Caulfield's Warhammer. It's, this is looking good, once again. Of course, we won't see the Ocean Soul, though. Maybe we get the Infernal, maybe we get the Hex deck. I don't know. I would like a much more exciting Soul. I would love it.
You just want to see the world burn, don't you?
I do! Listen, I love it. Listen, I come from fire. I enjoy it. It's so much fun. I want to see fire. Dang it, I think that's either a Chemtech or Hex deck next.
Okay, I can't tell because I don't know what the second trick is.
Right. We'll see when it's taken. We'll see when it's taken. Oh, Chemtech. That's Chemtech.
How can you tell? Wait. Oh, you saw.
I
you
saw a glimpse. Yeah,
Okay.
I saw a glimpse. If you looked past the portrait of Get Back absolutely rolling mid lane, you see the Chemtech thing.
Okay, fair enough, and that's why I had the play-by-play because we can spot those sort of details in the second we had and flicked across. Yes, I see it now. So Herald being started up now. It's not quite the same as last game. Oh, hold on. This connector. They might just collapse in on this.
Oh, they're looking at it right now. It is a level 4 Zyko looking at Tempos. Tempos scaling their way quickly out of that fight.
Didn't even have to burn flash. That's massive. If he had to burn flash, they might actually have hard committed for that. Now, what I did want to say, Orbital, is the difference between this game, early game, and last game's early game. Last game, ISU was still finding ways to sort of clap back, if you will. They were still able to, take Herald. And Maryville was taking a lot of risks. This time, did Get Back get all of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think
Cross
Get Back
secured it?
got the big, though. That was the rough one. That's why I was like, oh, Cross was trying so hard.
You know what? Cross is counter jungling anyways. If you can get it, great. Onto Zyko.
And then this, right? Like, the anger coming out here. And can't even get the ult. Instead, Cross is now in a dangerous spot. Might have to flash away. Topside PCL getting shredded here. And it is going to try and dance away out. Judozer doesn't want to commit, though.
Yeah, and for Judozer, you're not at the critical threshold for you to execute with the Mass Injustice just yet. So just, we're gonna wait a little bit before you do that. Now, bot lane, to me, is still where the pressure is, right? Great disengage coming through from ISU, but there was a 3v2 and you had to disengage. They're under turret. Just got absolutely worked over by those feathers. And remember last time when Cross died, Disconnector and Tempos had to leave? I am worried that Cross and Tempos have to leave right now. They are diveable.
A forced disconnect. The feather shredding the Ethernet cable. Just no, you're not allowed to play for the next 20 seconds. Now it's a bot lane dive. This is continuing. Tempos uses both flash and heal to try and run away. It might not be enough, though, as this dive is going a little bit awry. Viego didn't actually tank anything, and because of that, Zyko and Scary Jerry can't really follow through. Amazo says, okay, let's back away. Let's go be safe. Disconnector, though, watching.
I don't know about this one, Chief.
Flashes over the wall, and a flash to follow will be that kill. Rolling back in, but a flash to follow behind as Amazo gets that Heartbreaker, shuts down Disconnector. You get one kill as soon as you come back alive, and you know what? Little bit of vindication.
You know what? If you could have traded 1-for-1 and get that kill on Disconnector, that's a win, as far as I'm concerned, for ISU. But they traded 2-for-1. That is not worth, unfortunately. And in the mid lane, we're seeing Mezzo get bullied out by Get Back. Get Back has out available. Mezzo just has to base. And even under this turret, I'm a little bit worried. Okay, if that 5-strike had landed, Mezzo's dead right away. So things are going very, very much awry for ISU. The one lane keeping them afloat is Judozer in that top lane. But despite the fact that, he's pressuring, we're constantly seeing him push PCL in, he's only gotten one plate so far. The CS is even. And like I said before, Pai's job here isn't to dominate the lane, it isn't to kill Judozer. If he goes even, his job's done.
And that's why we're seeing this extended 3.2k lead. It is getting a little bit ridiculous now as, honestly, Get Back has done something that I love, which is the threat of the ult instead of the ult itself, right? The threat of the ult will actually burn a lot of time, which I love the fact about this. Early in the game, if you actually force your opponent to recall, I think you make them miss more time, right? Yes, it's not optimal because you want the 300 gold, but it's kind of fun to think about, right? You deny them so much time in lane if you just don't actually kill them. But for right now, though, it is going to be a little bit of a difference as bot lane is just being taken over by MU. As much as I want to deep dive analyze this, I don't think MU is going to give us a chance.
I wonder what the comms are right now for MU. I mean, I love the fact that they are just sitting in this bot lane trying to shut down Disconnector, because we sit in draft, right? The big job for MU is shut down Disconnector. Meslo, we'll worry about them later, and Judozer's not going to be as big a threat. But Amazo has only been in this bot lane over. I can't remember the last time I've seen him on that top side of the map. He's just always down there threatening. And because of that, Cross is stuck down here. And Cross is not farming his jungle. That's not his jungle. That's Amazo's jungle right now. Look at this.
when the largest CS lead is between the junglers, you know things have gone wrong.
prosecuted.
By the way, Drudozer is trying to proxy farm as best they can. They are currently sitting in the middle of the enemy territory. It's not working. Normally, you would see someone be drawn over by that proxy. It's not happening. The control on the bot side negates that almost entirely. And the fact that we already see PCL having a grand old time, right? The farming does not make a difference. So with everything that's going down, this dragon will be up in just a few seconds, and already we can see Amazo now targeting that mid lane, getting out of that bottom lane. Meslo in trouble, gonna get dove here, and I think you are just dead.
Yeah, the shockwave catches. Oh, hold on, Zyko might be picked.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was just thinking if the Maokai outlands, maybe they can find it. No, Cross, this is not okay.
Well, Drudozer
doesn't get
flashes away from Demacian Justice. I wasn't expecting that one. With that kill in the mid lane, it's 2 for 0 as they follow through. Drudozer trying to run away, but you get stunned up, and now the Heartbreaker on your life as things turn on its head. The tower dive to run away, to turn back for round 3, decimates ISU's attempts. Scary Jerry looking, cutting off Disconnector's chances, and because remember, they flash ghosted to try and get that kill on Zyko early on. Has to get to their teammate. Is able to get out with the wild growth, but I mean, you give up so much bot lane tower plates as well as that dragon.
I'm just shocked that Disconnector actually managed to get out of that situation when we were getting collapsed on everywhere. But even if they had killed Zyko, even if Drudozer got the ult off, it doesn't matter. You still shoot it 2 for 1 and all the map pressure in the world. Maryville gets to push in wherever they want. And this is very different from game 1. Maryville is not being sloppy. They are not making mistakes. They are playing on the edge, but they are on the right edge this time. ISU just can't find the kills. And now look at Meslo. Oh my goodness.
It reminds me, game number 1 was like snowboarding down a double black diamond, right? You don't really know the path, and it's going to get hairy, but you're going to go for it. You're going to go 60 miles an hour. You're going to go crazy. Game number 2, it's like a bunny slope, and you're beelining it at 80 miles an hour, and you are slowing yourself down just to get ready for the speed drop. They're just setting themselves up for a grand exit of this game, right? 9-2 at 14.5 minutes. You're looking at a 5.4k lead. Right now, PCL is allowed to help farm in the mid lane. They're allowed to allocate all their resources everywhere they really like with no repercussions.
Yeah, if anything, this is Maryville just making sure Drudozer doesn't get to keep taking, well, I guess plates are down. We're past 14-minute mark, but doesn't get any more chip damage on that turret. Oh, Scary Jerry? In a 1v1?
Well, you did talk about this. However, the safety net was here. The safety net of Amazo and Zyko coming from off screen.
Well, what was I thinking? I think it's a sign of how much like oh, hold up, Meslo is dead even through the flash.
I mean, you can't flash an auto attack. I think everyone learns that from like level 1, right?
I don't know, man. I've seen some level 30s, but
all right, that's there. Don't talk about my solo queue game. That's not nice. That's not nice.
So yeah, I mean, okay. So Meslo getting that just shouldn't happen. Cassante should not be able to do that to an Orianna in lane. Like Meslo has the zoning, has the turret behind him, and the fact that now PCL is able to do that, that's a problem. Topside Drudozer. I again want to finish my point that I think that the fact that I even thought Scary Jerry might go for the 1v1 just tells you how ahead Scary Jerry is and how good he is, right? Normally, your AD carry stands no chance against the Garen if the Garen can reach you. But I genuinely thought for a second, Scary Jerry might win this 1v1 right now. He is that far ahead. But what was I thinking? It's Maryville. They've got the backup there. So ISU, they're desperately trying to find something, but it seems like no matter what the lane configuration is, you just don't have good lanes anymore. Disconnector doesn't have a safe lane. Meslo doesn't have a safe lane. Drudozer, sure, he can farm against DJ Halal, against PCL, but Maryville is never going to give him that lane comfortably anymore. If they do, it's because they're making pressure somewhere else.
And I think that explains why, right there on your screen, the gold lead is insurmountable in certain areas, right? Like, you're looking at 7.6k differences versus, on the other side, one person, 2 people breaking through a 5k, only 1 breaking through 6k. That is the gold difference. This is what we call gold slinging in my world, right? You are literally taking your fat wallet and just slapping them around. Nothing you do will really cause a problem, even if you die here. That's why Zyko is playing so far ahead and just being like, I can dance to your face. You can't do anything. I'll give you a heart and walk away. And with Herald charging in as well, ISU is going to try and defend the best they can. They will be able to stop any further push, but the big question is, look at how quick Maryville is to rotate. ISU is going to lose something else somewhere. What is it they're going to lose? Is it going to be that top turret because Judo's are to rotate down? Is it going to be Disconnector's life? Oh, well, it might be Amazo's, as that's an attempt at a flash. I mean, I can appreciate it. Cross looking for it. However, you might have gotten your bot lane in a dangerous spot. Tempos has to flash away. Over the wall, Amazo goes. This is the heartbreaker to work. Wild Growth ain't going to do anything as Amazo tries to get the stun. Hey, you actually got out of range. One more attack will take it. No, the Q, the spike, the spear through your life. GG's there, as that's the first death for Tempos of the game.
Yeah, Tempo's been doing a great job dodging everything out. This bot lane in general has been doing a great job considering the pressure put down. But yeah, what's the term that you were saying earlier? Gold slinging?
Yes, gold slinging is probably my favorite term in some of these situations.
Yeah, that's exactly what we got to see right there. Just no.
Yeah, like that, and then this,
Come on,
like
bro.
this is 100% gold slinging. This is their gold lead, just being like, we can do whatever we want.
No, hold up. I can live with Scary Jerry killing Disconnector. Like, there is a very large gap there. But PCL just solo drew Dozer. What?
It's, you said you felt some vindication for what your statements were earlier, and then PCL's just like, nah, don't worry about it. I will go ahead and win this. Just straight up crushing that top lane matchup. This is, again, a snowball of snowballs. Cross trying to step up, trying to look for a chance at just killing Zyko. You can see it there, the Q not even landing. And all in the meantime, it's the buffer, the push to allow MU to look at this third dragon unchallenged.
I mean, I think MU wants ISU to challenge them. Like,
True.
they'd be more than happy to take that fight right now. And if the goal differences were about 2K earlier, they're probably bordering on the edge of 3K. 3K, to put that in perspective, is basically a completed item. So we can expect to see Maryville almost up a full item soon on ISU.
Ooh.
Scary Jerry?
Well, that's actually a good time. You burn the cleanse thanks to that condemn, but you still don't get the kill because guess who's in your back? It's Get Back. Get Back in the back lines, throwing down with the best of them. Use that perfect execution, gets the kill. Mezzo trying to chase. You aren't going to be able to do that. Amazo spinning to win because you got the heart of Demacia, and it's turned against you. This is a chance to knock him back. Mezzo knock back into the fight. The shield is going to be enough. The tower's still there, and this is still only 19 minutes, so the tower still actually kind of hurts. However, Mezzo trying to chase him out from the mid lane. It's not gonna
they
work.
baited?
It is just not going to work. I think Mezlo is only going to run them out of town. A dance forward again. Almost gets a knockup. They do.
Yep.
Oh, you caster curse the heck out of that RMC. Mezlo is able to get one. But it's enough time to bring Disconnector back. The speed up, the chase, the Shroud should go down, and Get Back should be alive. No, I think the Shroud is actually still on cooldown. This is going to be a chase. Good flash out by Get Back, and now Disconnector in a dangerous spot. Scary Jerry doesn't have the Feather Storm and would
Doesn't need
be
it.
fought if the gold wasn't so freaking disgustingly apart right now. Like, that is ridiculous. Cross can't even touch Scary Jerry.
And it's been like Pavlovian training this entire game, Orbital. I mean, Maryville have slowly trained ISU to say that, hey, if you chase us and you don't kill us immediately, we're just going to turn it on you every single time. And we kind of saw that a little bit. Like, Mezzo tries to step up, and it was bait. We saw it, on the bot lane. If Cross tries to chase over a wall, it was bait. And even here, maybe you could have killed Get Back. But by this time, ISU has been so conditioned to just say, no, we can't. Like, this is just too far at this point. If you could get the kill, would it be worth? Yes, there's a massive bounty. There was even a bounty on PCL that Mezzo managed to pick up. But ISU just aren't willing to mess around and find out anymore.
I don't think they have that option now. They might have to mess around and really will find out as this Baron is starting up right now too on the other side. Get Back in. Zyko are trying to do their best, but Zyko taken out of the fight pretty quickly. Disconnector getting chased down by a very scary Kali, and look at that. Just a single charge forces the wall of growth out. Are you kidding me? Perfect execution over the wall would bring you even closer, but you have done your job. Baron is currently taken, and I think Get Back will lose their life for what they've done. No Shroud is available, so the cutdown is there. Drew Dozer gets their first shutdown and kill of the game. Now a knock against the wall as that's a charm from the quickness. Look at Zyko rushing around this red buff. Drew Dozer is caught in the middle, and it's going to be a split fight as the Feather Storm drops Disconnector down to single HP. Not a moment to waste, though, as Amazo is looking to follow up. Mezlo just came out of base, has flash, doesn't need to use it. Judozer getting Doze on their own as a Bulldozer is taken out. Destruction all around as PCL finishes off their cake on the top side, and it looks like it's a two-way push, or just one, in the top lane with Baron.
And they're just grouped up here, and Mezlo and Disconnector, they don't have a front line. With PCL willing to dive, yep, that's going to happen.
Yep, Disconnector. You can't step up that far with a 3v3 situation. Disconnector is trying to get some damage down. And again,
great shockwave.
That shockwave might do the work.
Oh,
and again, another shutdown going to Disconnector. Follow through on another. No. The Cassante kill went the way of Tempos, but still, Disconnector gets a kill on an overextension from Maryville.
For a second, I was worried that the only kill they got was going to be Tempos picking up that one. But thankfully, Disconnector managed to find another one onto Zyko there. And, well, you know, we say they get back, died to secure his team Baron. Did he need to die? No. He really wanted to kill onto Disconnector there. And really unfortunately, Scary Jerry as well. The Featherstorm came out, did not have Blade Call available. Had already used in the prior fight, was waiting for cooldowns, wasn't able to finish off that fight. So again, Maryville, okay, they're starting to slip up a little bit. But again, it doesn't matter because they're so far ahead. That slip up still puts them above 10k. They still have Baron on a couple of members on that team. They can still look to push. And most importantly, Orbital, we're only 22 minutes in. Dragon's coming up in 2 minutes, and that's what Maryville are looking for. It's not going to be the explosive inferno you're hoping for, but Mountain on a team that's already so far ahead, how is ISU expected to find those bounties? How are they expected to rubber band back in when you can't find any kills?
You are praying for Disconnector to walk into a disconnected Amazo, right? Like, that's what you're hoping for, to drop like 1k on a single kill, and then rush that into your Mythic, and then a few components for your next Legendary. Like, that's what you're hoping for. That's what it feels like. It is all in the hands of this MU squad as they just chase. As I said, the snowball is here. They got a free slope to rush down. Drew Dozer getting soloed out on the back end as well. And it's just death from beyond. The tower is still up, but I don't think it's going to matter. Redemption even coming in to keep everyone topped off. It is a clean 2 kills. Nothing to worry about as Amazo's looking on the back end.
You're gonna dive for this.
This is 100% a dive. Go for the dive. Have fun with it. The wave is nowhere close, by the way. It's still like 10 seconds out. They're going to die this. This is PCL being the Gasante bully. They dive in, Disconnector, destroyed where they stand. Meslo, Sundavala, and Tempos. Their second death of the game to put an ace for Maryville on the board.
5 seconds onto Cross's respawn, 10 for Drew Dozer. I'm going to be honest, those two I don't think can hold. They've got to step into range and look at what Scary Jerry did to Drew Dozer. The last time they fought, Scary Jerry brought fence, but this time it was a legitimate 1v1.
It was the 1v1 of dreams. Every ADC wishes everyone and anyone in their way as Maryville are looking to close out the series and move to a 6-1. However, with how fast they've been winning these fights, the death numbers are actually still quite low, so they're not going to finish off any towers. However, with 25 seconds left on this dragon, they might look and they actually turn it around again. It is Zyko again and again and again to start the fight. Mezzo just came back up. The shockwave will land on 3, but it's a moot point. Yes, deaths come out, but the feathers will do the work. Quadra kill for Scary Jerry. I don't think that was a pentakill. Scumbag stole it. I'm not sure. This will be another inhibitor down.
It was Get Back who managed to find Disconnector in that fight. So yeah, unfortunately for Scary Jerry.
There we go. I was like, why aren't they finishing? There's the finish that we were wanting for. Teleport in to go ahead and close it out. 30 to 8. 25 minutes on the clock. Maryville, say thank you. Yes, these death timers are going to be. Well, hold on. Let's take this into consideration. There we go. That's what I was wondering. They say, hey, we can't actually finish this off. We got pretty much everything but the Nexus itself. Because of that, we're going to walk our way out. With this fight, though, Disconnector should pick up another kill onto PCL. I don't think anything else is going to come for it. But hey, with ISU able to grab these extra kills behind, you can go ahead and grab Dragon for yourself as well.
Yeah, that's first objective of the game for ISU. Literally, they have not managed to get one to this point.
That sounds so cynical and so mean at 26 minutes.
I wasn't noticing there's nothing. That is all they're going to find. They are going to find a dragon in the back end of it. Amazo is still messing around, trying to see if he can steal it there. By time!
Okay, no, not stolen. And yes, you will pay pretty much everything. But you went down swinging. I think that's what they're going to say here. We went down with fight in our pocket. And we will be happy about that. It will be a follow-through. 1 5-point strike does not kill Tempos. It's going to be Meslo to try and get the last auto attack off, but Amazo is there to follow. Great slow. Great way back in. The command dissonance, though, taking the life of Get Back. And now comes the follow-through. Just like that, another ace will commence. And at this point, it's playing with your food. Dragon was lost, but lives were not, as they will go for the open Nexus, and Maryville will finish off this series 2-0.
Yeah, just put out Orbital. Iconic, Amazo, went 14-0-8 this game. He's legendary. He is deathless. And, okay, they are really playing with their food. And, thank you. They finally take it. This was Maryville supremacy. 2 weeks ago, we cost them. They lost. This week, we cost them game 1. Was a little bit sloppy. Game 2 is what you'd expect when you hear Maryville University, and they definitely put on a show. They wanted to show everybody that, hey, Maryville